The world was quiet, a special kind of quiet that only happens on Christmas morning. At the top of the world, snow fell in gentle flakes, blanketing gingerbread rooftops and candy cane forests. The North Pole village glowed with golden light, everyone sleeping in after Santa's big night. The reindeer dreamed in their stables, Mrs. Claus sipped tea, and even Santa rested, his red suit hung up for another year. The workshops were silent, toy-making machines still after their busiest season. But beneath the snow, excitement buzzed. A job well done, a mission accomplished. Christmas morning at the North Pole was a celebration of teamwork and joy. And for one small elf, this morning was the start of an adventure he'd never forget. In a gumdrop-shaped house lived Pip, one of the smallest elves in the village. His hat was too big, his ears wiggled when excited, and his cheeks were always rosy. Pip's heart was full of kindness and Christmas cheer. He saw magic in everything. He loved painting toys and believed each one carried a bit of his happiness to children far away. This year, Pip had been an elf on the shelf for Lily and Tom, watching over them and reporting to Santa. Now back home, he missed them and wondered if they liked their gifts. Pip's secret wish wasn't for toys or trinkets. He wanted to be part of the big magic, to help Santa in a special way. But he wondered, how could a small elf like him do something so important? The magic of Christmas Eve lingered at the North Pole, shimmering in the air. It was strongest on Christmas morning, swirling around the village, making everything feel alive. Pip felt the magic tingling in his ears, filling him with energy and a sense of adventure. While others rested, Pip slipped on his boots and tiptoed outside, the snow crunching underfoot. He wandered through the quiet village, past the workshop and reindeer stables, towards Santa's main office. As he stood in the empty square, a single golden sparkle floated down, zigzagging before touching the office door. The door creaked open, a magical invitation. Pip's heart raced. The adventure was calling him inside. Pip's heart thumped as he squeezed through the open door into Santa's grand entryway. The air was warm, filled with the scent of gingerbread and old books. He gazed at towering shelves of Christmas records and a grand staircase curving into the shadows. Suddenly, a gentle voice echoed from above. "Pip, is that you, my boy?" At the top of the stairs stood Santa, in cozy pajamas and a fluffy robe, mug in hand. Pip, startled but excited, straightened his hat and stammered, "I'm sorry to disturb you. The door just opened." Santa chuckled. "The magic knew I needed to see you, Pip. Come on up." Pip felt nervous but curious. What could Santa want with him? Santa's eyes twinkled. "There's something important we need to discuss." Pip climbed the grand staircase, bells jingling, and followed Santa down a hallway lined with memories. Santa's office was wondrous. A crackling fireplace, a massive desk covered in maps and gadgets, a globe spinning with blinking lights. Santa gestured to a Pip-sized chair beside his own. "Have a seat, Pip," Santa said, offering hot cocoa with a flick of his wrist. Pip sipped the magical drink, his nerves melting away. He wondered why he was here. This felt important. Santa watched him, eyes twinkling with a secret. Santa set down his mug, his tone turning serious but kind. "Pip, you've been an exceptional elf. You see the good in children's hearts, a rare gift." Pip blushed, pride swelling inside him. "Now, I have a special post-Christmas mission for you," Santa said, pointing to a glowing spot on the globe. "In the town of Snowbell, the lead bell from my sleigh's harness was left behind. It holds the echo of Christmas laughter and is vital for next year's magic." Pip's eyes widened. "You want me to get it?" Santa nodded. Only an elf with a true and kind heart can find it now. The magic will guide you, but it won't be easy. I believe that elf is you, Pip. Will you accept this mission? Pip's heart soared. His adventure was about to begin. Pip's mind was a whirlwind, wonder and worry swirling together. Santa had given him a real mission. Excitement bubbled up. He could be a hero, but what if he failed? The magic of Christmas was at stake. Pip realized being brave meant acting, even when scared. He stood tall. Yes, Santa, I accept. The wonder had won. Santa's smile was all the encouragement Pip needed. Now, we must get you to Snowbell quickly, Santa said, taking a shiny reindeer-shaped whistle from the mantelpiece. He blew the whistle, and a soft, magical note filled the room. Suddenly, a magnificent snowy owl appeared at the window. Pip, this is Hoot. He'll take you to Snowbell. Pip climbed onto Hoot's back, heart pounding with excitement, and together they soared into the snowy sky. Flying on Hoot's back, Pip soared above snowy forests and mountains, his hat flapping in the wind. Below, a Christmas card town nestled in a snowy valley appeared, with a giant tree at its heart and children laughing in the snow. Hoot landed gently on a pine branch, giving Pip a perfect view of Snowbell. Pip took a deep breath, ready for his adventure. Pip decided the best way down was to slide. He zipped down the snowy branch, wind in his face, until he picked up too much speed. With a cry, he tumbled off and landed in a fluffy snowdrift, buried and gasping for air. Brushing off snow, Pip looked around the giant town square, determined to stay hidden and start his search near the huge Christmas tree. Pip searched and searched. He crawled under benches, his knees getting damp from the snow. He peeked behind the decorative gift boxes and even climbed a little way up the giant Christmas tree, careful to stay hidden among the thick branches. But there was no sign of the bell. He didn't see its golden gleam, and he didn't hear its magical sound. He was starting to feel a little discouraged. The town square was a big place, and the bell was very small. What if someone had already found it and taken it home? His heart sank at the thought. Feeling a bit chilly and disheartened, Pip decided to take a short break. He spotted a small empty paper cup that had been left on a bench. It probably once held hot chocolate. A little girl in a pink snowsuit had been sitting there earlier with her parents. He scurried over and peeked inside. There was just one little drop of lukewarm hot chocolate left at the bottom. It wasn't much, but it was better than nothing. He carefully tipped the cup and let the sweet chocolatey drop fall onto his tongue. It tasted wonderful, almost as good as Santa's. As the warmth of the chocolate spread through him, something magical happened. For just a brief moment, the world around him seemed to shimmer. A faint, golden trail of light, almost invisible, lifted from the ground near the bench. It swirled in the air like steam from a hot drink, then floated towards a nearby snowman. The light danced around the snowman's head for a second before fading away completely. Pip blinked. Had he imagined it? He looked again, but the light was gone. It was just a normal snowman with a carrot nose and coal eyes. But Pip remembered what Santa had said. Trust your feelings. His heart was telling him that the shimmer was real. It was a clue. The magic of the bell was faint, but maybe, just maybe, the little bit of Christmas joy from the hot chocolate had helped him see it. His excitement returned in a rush. He wasn't just searching blindly anymore. He had a direction. His mission was back on track. He hopped off the bench, his spirit renewed. The bell was somewhere near that snowman, he was sure of it. Pip scurried over to the snowman, his little heart pounding with renewed hope. The snowman was tall and cheerful, with a crooked top hat and a scarf made of red wool. Pip circled it carefully, examining the snow all around its base. He ran his tiny hands through the snow, digging and patting, searching for the hard, metallic feel of a bell. He looked under the snowman's twig arms and around its charcoal smile. Nothing. He was starting to get frustrated again. The clue had led him here, but where was the bell? Suddenly, he heard a small sniffing sound right behind him. He froze, his ears perked up. He slowly turned around and found himself nose to nose with a small, brown field mouse. The mouse had big, dark eyes and twitching whiskers. It was looking right at Pip with great curiosity. Pip had been so focused on his search that he hadn't noticed the tiny creature approaching. For a moment, they both just stared at each other. One small elf and one small mouse in the shadow of the giant snowman on Christmas morning. Pip remembered his manners. He was a friendly elf after all. "Hello," he whispered, so as not to startle the mouse. "I'm Pip." The mouse didn't run away. Instead, it gave a little squeak, as if to say hello back. It tilted its head and looked at the snowman, then back at Pip, and squeaked again, more insistently this time. It then scurried a few steps towards the snowman and tapped its nose against the middle snowball, the one that made up the snowman's round belly. Then it looked back at Pip expectantly. Pip was confused. What was the mouse trying to tell him? He looked at the middle of the snowman. It was just a big, round ball of packed snow. But the mouse seemed so sure. It squeaked again and tapped the snowman's belly one more time, before scurrying back to Pip's side. Pip looked closer. There, pressed deep into the packed snow of the snowman's middle, he saw it. A tiny, faint hint of gold. It wasn't on the ground at all. It was inside the snowman. The children who built it must have rolled it up with the snow by accident. He had a new friend and a new very tricky problem. Pip's heart did a flip-flop when he spotted a glint of gold inside the snowman's belly. The bell was safe, but trapped. He couldn't just smash the snowman, it would be rude and draw attention. Pip tried scraping with a twig, but the snow was packed tight. He was getting nowhere. Squeaky, his mouse friend, climbed onto his shoulder, offering comfort. Pip looked at Squeaky, and suddenly, an idea began to form. Squeaky the mouse was small, just like him. But Squeaky had friends. Pip had seen other mice scurrying near the edges of the square, disappearing into tiny holes in the snow. And there were other animals too. He saw little sparrows hopping on the branches of the Christmas tree, and a fluffy rabbit peeking out from behind a bush. They were all part of this world. They knew how to survive here. Maybe, just maybe, they could help him. He remembered what Santa had said. Kindness was a special talent. Maybe it was time to use it. "Squeaky," Pip said, a new energy in his voice. "I have an idea, but I'm going to need your help, and the help of your friends." The mouse on his shoulder wiggled its whiskers excitedly. Pip's idea was simple, but potentially brilliant. He couldn't break the snow, so he would have to melt it. But he couldn't build a fire. That would be far too noticeable. He needed a different kind of warmth, the kind of warmth that comes from many bodies huddled together. He needed to assemble a team of the warmest, fuzziest creatures in Snowbell. Pip explained his plan in quiet whispers to the little mouse. They would gather all the small animals they could find. The mice, the sparrows, the rabbits, anyone who was willing to help. They would all press themselves against the snowman's middle, right where the bell was trapped. Their combined body heat, though small individually, would hopefully be enough to slowly and gently melt the snow around the bell without destroying the whole snowman. It was a long shot, but it was the only plan he had. It relied on teamwork and friendship. Squeaky seemed to understand perfectly. The mouse gave an excited series of squeaks, his little nose twitching. He then scurried down from Pip's shoulder and disappeared into a small hole at the base of a nearby bench. Pip watched him go, his heart filled with a new sense of hope. He wasn't alone in this mission anymore. He had a partner. Now, all he could do was wait and see if Squeaky could convince the other local critters to join their unusual cause. He crossed his fingers and hoped the animals of Snowbell were as kind as his new friend. It didn't take long. First, Squeaky returned, followed by a whole family of field mice, then sparrows, and a fluffy snowshoe hare. Pip's heart swelled with gratitude. They had all come. He pointed to the snowman. A piece of Christmas magic is trapped inside. I need your help. Together, they pressed against the snowman, ready to make Christmas magic happen. The team sprang into action. The mice went first, climbing the snowman, followed by sparrows and the big snowshoe hare, all pressing close for warmth. Together, their warmth slowly melted the snow, revealing a golden bell hidden inside. Pip reached in and grabbed the bell. His crazy idea had worked. With a final tug, the bell came free. Pip pulled his hand back, and there it was, resting in his palm. It was the lead bell from Santa's sleigh. It was smaller than he imagined, but it shone with a brilliant, warm, golden light that seemed to push back the cold. It was perfectly smooth and cool to the touch. As he held it, the bell let out a single, soft jingle. It wasn't a loud sound, but it was the most beautiful sound Pip had ever heard. It sounded like pure joy, like 1,000 children laughing all at once. The lost magic was found. The moment the bell jingled, all the animals fell silent. They looked at the glowing bell in Pip's hand with a sense of awe. They had done it. Their teamwork had paid off. The snowshoe hare thumped its back foot on the ground in a gesture of triumph. The sparrows took to the air, circling Pip's head in a joyful dance. The mice, led by Squeaky, all let out a chorus of happy squeaks. They had all played a part in saving a piece of Christmas, and they were proud. Pip looked at his team, his heart overflowing with gratitude. We did it. Thank you. Thank you all so much. I couldn't have done it without you. He carefully tucked the precious bell into a small pocket inside his tunic, patting it to make sure it was secure. The jingle of laughter echoed softly against his chest, a warm and comforting feeling. His mission was a success. He had faced a challenge, made new friends, and worked together with them to solve a problem. He felt 10 feet tall. Now, all that was left was to get the bell safely back to the North Pole. He turned to say goodbye to his friends, but just then, he heard a familiar, soft hoot from the pine tree above. Hoot the owl had been watching the entire time. He swooped down, landing silently in the snow beside Pip, ready for the return journey. Pip gave Squeaky one last thankful nuzzle and waved goodbye to the sparrows and the hare. His heart was full. He had come to Snowbell to find a piece of lost magic, but he had found something just as important, the magic of friendship and teamwork. Pip felt triumphant. He had the magical bell. But as he prepared to leave, a huge, scruffy cat cast a dark shadow over him and Hoot. The animals scattered in fear, leaving Pip alone with Squeaky and Hoot, facing real danger. Pip's heart pounded, but the bell's magic reminded him he had to be brave for Christmas and his friends. Pip looked at the scruffy cat, then at the magical bell in his pocket. But under the cat's grumpy face, he saw hunger and loneliness. Remembering his special elven cake, Pip knew what to do. He placed the glowing cake on the snow and gently pushed it toward the cat. The cat ate, then looked up at Pip, its eyes softening. Kindness had changed everything. Pip stood in the snow, heart full. He hadn't fought or used magic. He simply shared what he had, even with a grumpy cat. The real magic wasn't in the golden bell, but in kindness and giving. Surrounded by friends, Pip realized he'd found the true spirit of Christmas by making it himself. Pip returned to the North Pole, the golden bell safe in his pocket, feeling braver than ever. As Hoot landed by Santa's workshop, elves cheered and banners waved. Pip handed Santa the shining bell. "I found it, Santa. The magic is safe." Laughter and joy filled the village. Pip had brought Christmas back home. Santa smiled, holding the bell, then placed a warm hand on Pip's shoulder. "You did more than find the bell, Pip. You faced challenges, made friends, and showed kindness, even to those who seemed like enemies. The real magic of Christmas, Pip learned, was kindness and giving, something anyone can share every day." And from that day on, Pip reminded everyone that the true spirit of Christmas lives inside us all.